Hello everybody, welcome back to the Border Corner. So as the chicks are all coming in, so I can't say chicks as much anymore because I've only got a couple left. As the young birds all entering the molt phase now, some of them are well underway actually, and some have already shed a lot of their old feathers and started growing the new ones. I give them condition seed 3 times a week, and as they get in the soft food every other day as well, 3 times a week, it means that rather than sticking in 2 different finger drawers, what I do is I use the round egg food dishes because I can get more in there, and I put in a finger of conditioned seed and a finger drawer of the egg food soft food mix. So it's still the same mix that I've used all season, so that's carrot, broccoli, frozen peas, frozen sweet corn, soap seed, and up until a short while ago I was giving them pearl morvide as well. But now I've moved over to Happy Bird, and I'm using Happy Bird starter that I get from Darren at Avian Supplies. I've knocked off pearl morvide, and the birds now get the starter. Darren's given me some like neutral coloured starter as well as the green that I had previously. The birds didn't seem to like taking the green on its own, but when I mix it in with their egg food, they're taking it okay. So yeah, so they have that, and then they have egg food in there as well. The egg food that I'm using is this one, which is also from Darren at Canaries Giallo Secco. It's really nice. It's really nice egg food. When I have to put it in on its own, I don't know if you can see that. When I have to put it in on its own, the birds really like it. So it's good. It's good having it in the mix with them. So I'm just going to crack on and put the egg food in for the birds. Coming up on today's show is not a lot really. The birds have all been growing quite well, so what I'll do is I'll just do a quick whip around the cages so you can see the birds in the cages and how they're getting on, how they're growing, and then show you the aviary where I've got the hens in the aviary now. So I'm going to get on with their egg food, and I'll be back in a minute. When I've got birds that are getting close to weaning, I give them a round drawer of egg food, and they also get a finger drawer of Quaker tonic sprinkled over the top. And the parents show, I found that they seem to wean really nicely by doing this. Parents are keen to get on the Quaker tonic as well as the soft food, and it brings the chicks to the egg food drawer much quicker. In my experience. So what I do once they've had they've had this for a few days, when I wean the birds, they get the same mix, so they're used to seeing exactly the same thing, and they know they like the Quaker tonic seed, and they tend to go for it quite quickly. So I've got 2 youngsters that are about to be weaned today, so they're going to get this last feed with their parents. Let's get on with that now. There you go. As you can see, the two youngsters are actually the first ones down on the egg food drawer. So this probably doesn't make any difference, in all honesty. If you just give them normal egg food, they'll probably still go straight on it. But this is something that I've been doing, and it seems to have worked. All the youngsters have weaned off okay, and I haven't lost any through weaning. So it's probably something that I'm going to carry on doing. I'll have to get another order of Greater Tonic for next year, because they've just about eaten me out of it this year. But as you can see, I'm sure you're all the same when the food goes in, the soft food goes in. The birds are big fans of it, aren't they? So they're on it straight away. Just a couple of clears here. These are the two oldest birds I've got in the bird room, and they don't hang around. They're on it straight away. Something that's quite amusing, I think this little in the middle, I think it must be a cockbird, because it's already standing up to its dad when it comes to eating the egg food. It's such a brave little thing, and it runs the dad off, which is pretty amusing, really, given this thing's only about, I don't know, 5-6 weeks old. But as you can see, he's quite brave. He's not taking no for an answer. He's letting his dad know who's boss. Or maybe not. But yeah, I really like watching that. But he's back. You don't give in. So these guys will be weaned off today. They're eating nicely on their own now, so they'll be weaned off. And that leaves me with just one chick in the nest for this year. So I'm just going to get over there now, and I'll show you what's going on there. So this hen, it's quite strange actually. This hen raised 4 youngsters for me. They hatched on the 23rd of April. Sorry, I set them on the 23rd of April, and they hatched on the 7th of May. And she did a good job with them. She raised all 4. Nice youngsters. I'm just going to go over to see this cage here. There's a clear. Say clear. It's ticked, isn't it? It's just got a little bit of feathering on the back of her head there. She was one of the youngsters that came from this hen. But the reason I say that it's odd is because by the time that they didn't want to feed themselves for quite a long time, they were quite late actually leaving the nest, and she was showing signs of wanting to go down to nest again. And I was in that bit of a dilemma that I couldn't bring I didn't want to bring the cockbird back in case he attacks the chicks. So I left the cockbird out and just kept my fingers crossed that she would wait until I'd finally got the chicks weaned. But unfortunately that didn't happen, and she started laying. Weirdly enough, her actually laying, and there was no nest pan in there, she just laid in the corner. And the timing of her laying eggs then coincided with the chicks, me finally seeing the chicks starting to eat by themselves. So I took the plunge and took her out. Took the chicks out. I put a nest pan in and put one egg that she'd laid in the nest pan to hope that she'd sit on it, which she did straight away. So I brought the cockbird back and reintroduced the cockbird, and despite his best attempts, she wasn't having any of it, and she fought him off tooth and nail. And I tried for quite a few days, obviously, until I got to the time that she'd laid the 3rd egg, and I thought, well, there's no point now. So I thought she's got to go through, excuse me, I thought she's got to go through a sequence of sitting anyway, so I might as well just leave her, which I did. And on the 1st of July, I saw a broken eggshell on the floor of the cage. And when I had a peek, there were 3 chicks in the bottom of the cage. Now, she had not mated with that cockbird because I run him in and run him out, so I didn't just leave them. So I know that she hasn't, he hasn't trod her. So that must only mean that she has somehow kept some of the sperm from the original mating in her body, and she's utilised that when she was ready. So now, unfortunately, I lost two of the youngsters died quite quickly. So there's just one in there. Now, normally this time of year, I probably wouldn't run with the one, but she did a good job. She did a good job with the other chick, so I thought, well, I'll just leave her to it. So there's one chick in here that looks like it's quite a light bird. We'll see if we can get a shot of that in a minute when she comes off to feed. You can just see the chick, the last one of the year, if I can get it in focus. Only a few days old. Sorry, it's not great photography, is it? But there you go. So that's my last one. I'll probably see about doing if I can, I'll see about doing a regular update on how it's getting on, just so that it's a bit of content that we can put in. Maybe try and do a video every day, just to show you how it's growing. Just let us know in the comments below, or by private message or something if you're interested in that, if it's something worthwhile. So as we're into molting season now, a lot of the birds, as I mentioned earlier, have already started dropping. This is one of the oldest birds that I've bred. I've moved the birds onto the Weaning feed Muta now. And as you can see here, it just looks the same as the maintenance feed that the birds are on. So hopefully there shouldn't be too much problem with them starting to take it. But got off to a reasonable start. You can see this bird here is tucking in. And if I'm able to swing the camera around slightly to here, there's another bird here that's just starting to tuck in. And she's going to move now, I've said that. So yeah, so they are starting to take it. It's something, it makes the bird room easier. It means I can stop doing worrying about mixing up the Mutavit in the water 3 times a week, because I've just got to make sure that these guys have access to this supplement. Once they've been down and had a few goes at it, you can see this guy's come back, he's having another go. They seem to be quite keen on it, so yeah, that's going to be a new one. But Darren has sent me the Muta. There's also another supplement that you can put on as well. I'm just trying to remember what it is. I think it's Muta Excellence, which is something a bit like Best Breed, I think, that you sprinkle on. But I'll find out a bit more when I get that. I'll show you that when I get that. So hopefully, yeah, so it'll make a big difference to when I'm not able to do the birds, when somebody else is doing it for me. Just say to them, make sure the pots are full of that yellow stuff. Different. This is the hens in the aviary with unique feed, the unique feed Muta. So they're a bit slow to it, but as you can see, this hen is getting stuck in. If I just get the camera up a little bit, we got a nest here we've got a cage here with another border and then a fife. They're just starting to go for it, so it will happen. I'm confident that more and more the birds will take to it. So, and this is a nice little aside for the girls in the aviary as well. This is where the sun comes in the afternoon, and you can always find any number of birds down here in the sunshine enjoying a bit of last afternoon sun. That's it for today's video, folks. Bit of a shorter one. It's a bit quiet to go through this period now where not a lot seems to happen, I think, in the bird, when we have all the excitement of getting into breeding and youngsters fledging the nests and so on and so forth. Everything slows down a bit now, so it won't be that long before we start getting the birds out in the moult, and then we'll start seeing what they're really made of, so hopefully that won't be too long. I hope you're all okay and hope your birding is still going well. I mentioned in the last video about the donation scheme. I call it a donation scheme. If anybody, I'm sure we'll be able to sort some deals out if any of you experienced guys would like to sell some birds at a much reduced rate, so we can get some more youngsters and some novices in. So I mentioned last time about me keeping a register, so sorry, excuse the dog barking in the background. So if anybody wants to go on that register to receive birds, or if anybody would like to go on the register to donate birds, please get in touch, usual channels. thebordercorner@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook as well and WhatsApp. A lot of people know my WhatsApp address. Or just drop a note in the comments. So, fingers crossed for everybody else. I know there's been a lot of up and down news this year. Some folks are reporting really bad seasons. Other folk seem to do really well. So I hope wherever you are, it's going well. The most important thing is I hope you're enjoying the birds. That's what it all comes down to. So, but until the next time, keep on birding. Bye for now.